Hi, this is Sherry. Welcome to my journey in clay. Today I want to talk about a tool that I use quite a bit. It's an extruder, also called a clay gun. You can get them at hobby stores, you can get them at any clay supply store. They're pretty much all the same as far as the die that they come with and the construction. So you'll have a hollow tube like this that the clay goes in, a plunger, then you have multiple die to pick from, multiple shapes. You put whatever shape you choose in here and then just screw it on. So what I have today is I have a couple already ready to go. I'm just gonna do a few of them to give you an idea, and if you're interested you can always get one and see what the other pieces look like. So we're going to start with a three-parter, what I call a three-parter. You have to have clay that is soft to start off with. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I will take my water bottle and spritz a little bit of water in here if I need to, if the clay is not, super soft. You roll a skinny enough piece of clay to fit in. Just tear that off. Then you just push the plunger down. So here we have the three-parter, but you can do a lot of different things with this. Sometimes I will take a piece and make what we used to call, where I worked many years ago, we called it a dingleberry. When I first started with pottery, I worked at Windy Meadows Pottery, owned by Jan Richardson, who made candle houses. And one of the things that we used to decorate was this three-parter that we would make a shape. We would roll it like this in a little circle and then go down and up and push it, maybe tear it off a little bit, and that's what we call the dingleberry. So you can make these and combine them in all sorts of ways, and I'll show you a couple pieces I've made where I've done that. So you can do that. You can also make another kind of a shape. So you could just roll it up a little bit, maybe cut it off here. You can play around with it, and then maybe roll this the other way. And then you have a shape like this. And again, I'll show you some examples that I have. You can also take a piece and keep it straight, but add it to something. So you could take this and not curl it at all, but just apply it directly onto a piece if you want to accent something. The other thing you can do is you can even take this and put some sort of mark. I'll just take this for example. All along the way, and that would give it a little more texture, and then you could, put that on your piece. So I use this quite a bit, and I'll show you just a couple examples. This one is a lantern that I made, and you can see I've added the dingleberries on each side of the building or lantern. Then I took the piece and put it down here just to accent the corners of the building, and at the top here I just took 4 of these little dingleberries, 4 of them, and combined them into one. The other thing I did on this was I took another, just a one piece, and made some around the little opening here. So that's one example. Another example, this is a candle holder that I made, and I used the biggest three-parter for this. And this, of course, you can construct whatever you want with it. Now, in this case, I made it and I had it supported with some paper until it dried and then fired it. So that's another example. And this is one of my favorites. This is a bowl I made where I used these S-type pieces, and I made the bowl. I put these on the rim of the bowl and have some little faces little face molds that I had. So I put the faces all around and put these, and they're quite strong. So that's another example of something that you could do with that three-parter. So let's go to another shape. Let's try the single hole. And again, these come in multiple sizes. You can get, or you can use the small size, or you can use them a little bigger, as depending on what your piece is and what you want to do. So same thing. Roll a little bit of clay. Use your plunger. And this is the same type thing. You could make little shapes with it. Little dingleberries. You could just, do it something a little more free form and just place it on your piece, depending on what you want. So here's one example of using the smaller circular die there, where I just made those little dingleberries and put them all along the outside of this butter dish, and then a couple here. And then here's another example where I used one that was a little bit bigger but still a single piece, and I did these, I guess you call this hair on the back, and all around the neck there. So this is something I did with the single piece. The last one I'm going to show you is one that might come in handy depending on what you want to make. It has lots of little holes to it. So this one, again, you can get different sizes. There's 1, 2, 3 different sizes of the little holes. So I'm going to put this in, and this one, comes out kind of like hair. So you can use this if you're making something with hair. And the example I want to show you here is my little gnome. So I used it for the beard for the gnome, and worked out quite well. So there's a close-up of that. So these extrusions can be used in all kinds of ways. Again, there's multiple die that you can use. One thing I want to tell you about the care of them. When I am done using these, first of all, I make sure that I get all of the clay out. Then I take the plunger out and I unscrew this. Because if you leave them screwed, that clay will dry and it will be impossible, just about, to get it out. Also, it's best, frankly, I don't always do this, but you should clean the clay out each time. What I usually do is, before I use it each time, make sure that clay is out. Before I use it, you can clean it out now. Put some, spray some water in, clean it out. Maybe get a little brush even and clean it out. Or if the clay has dried, what you want to do is you want to take a little tool and ream it out a little bit. And then if you have let it dry and you ream that dried clay out, what you want to do before you take, like, a big piece and roll it up, take a little bit, put it in, and make sure that gets out before you put in a big piece and start working. So I guess that's it. Just wanted to show you how much fun these can be, and that's all. See you on the next video.